I would say Maine is cold but warm. Cold for the temperature, but nice warm people. Very welcoming people, and they're just very caring is what I would say. So my name is Tanaka. I'm in a bio pre-med program. I'm currently a senior from Berkeley, California, and I'm on the swim team. I knew by sophomore year of high school, I was ready to, spread my wings and kind of leave California. I just always wanted to see more of the United States, I guess. Having never been to the East Coast, I was, naturally curious, how it was. I haven't seen snow. The change from California to Maine has been crazy, to say the least. The biggest thing, obviously, the temperature. California, Berkeley especially, is usually just 50 to 80 degrees. Maine is much more variable. It's a lot colder, a lot more humid. There's also difference socially. Coming from a city, it's easy to get lost, easy to just kind of, be one person instead of a community. In Maine, it's much more tight-knit. We know a lot more people. From the start when I got here, coming off the airport, just a wide-eyed little kid, my first interaction with the Mainer was them offering to drive me to my hotel. Someone who I didn't even know offering to do that was just crazy to me. And it's just conveying the niceness that Maine truly embodies. So I first came into research at Maine towards the end of sophomore year. My girlfriend who I've been dating since I got here, she recommended me to pursue research because that's what medical school applicants do. They have to have research. They have to be a holistic applicant. So I was I guess I'll go and email some PIs, and I stumbled across Dr. Talbot's lab. I thought I was just some stupid undergraduate, who honestly didn't even know the difference between troponin and whether it was a hormone or something. I was I'm not gonna get this research job. I'm just I was so neurotic about not getting it, but I ended up getting it, and it's honestly been blessed. I've sort of shifted my focus a little bit. Now the opportunity of going to graduate school and pursuing a chemistry PhD. And it's really just been the opportunities that UMaine has brought me that's allowed for this shift. I currently am part of 2 research labs on campus, a student gov representative, and a VP of fundraising for SAC. And it's been honestly the guidance of my advisors, my coaches, my friends who have kind of informed my decision as well. I didn't think I would ever have the chance or ever be inclined to be the person to take graduate level chemistry courses or be the person to pursue graduate school in chemistry and chemical biology. And I can confidently say that I would like to do this for the rest of my life. It's something that I enjoy and something that is very sustainable. And honestly, it's intriguing. So I started swimming when I was around 6. First started taking lessons, doing all that. I realized that I really wanted to swim in college during sophomore year. And I didn't really have access to a club team because they're so expensive. So I kind of put myself on this journey through going to the pool at the YMCA and working day in and day out to become a better swimmer. I reached out to them, the coaches of the University of Maine, and through them I was able to continue my dreams of being on a Division I collegiate team. And honestly, I couldn't imagine it happening any other way. I'm very appreciative of the opportunities that the University of Maine has provided me and the opportunities that the University of Maine swim team has provided me. It's really molded me, not just as an athlete, but as a person. And I couldn't imagine it any other way.
I love the white noise of the HVAC system. When the HVAC system is shut down and the entire building is quiet, you don't know what to do. You're like, something is wrong here. And it is, they're supposed to be running.
I'm Annabelle Collins, I'm from UMaine, and I'm a mechanical engineering technology student.
So when I was a little kid, instead of going to daycare, I would hang out with my grandparents. My grandfather was a carpenter, and I would just build stuff with him. Like, it really got me in the building mindset of things. And then when I continued over to college, I started MEE, mechanical engineering, for a couple years. switched over to business management, where I thought the management aspect would help me out a wee bit more, but ended up settling on MET, Mechanical Engineering Technology. I find it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get that management and manufacturing aspect. I walk in and I'm like, do I want to go in the wood shop or the metal shop today?
So by day I'm an engineering student, and by night I get to enable the student section with a pep band, and I love it. The student section loves it, the rest of the fans love it, and I sure hope the team loves it too. We are just a whole bunch of students that want to enjoy our free time, and wow. Hey, yo. Being in pep band, it's all about the bigger picture. You know, music, we're supposed to kind of be in the background, but pep band, we just work together to make our team play the best that they can and make sure that everyone else has a great time with it.
And coming to UMaine, I knew I wanted to stay musical in some sense. You know, a singular pep band player is a gear, a singular engineer is a gear of a bigger picture. Once you have all those gears together, they just create the energy. And if you're not loud, play louder. In the case that you're a trumpet, then lower down a little bit.
Over the summer, I was sitting in Chipotle with my family, and the first wave of college kids came back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. This is my time. And I knew that school was right around the corner, and it's like being able to come back to this place, it's stunning. It's really nothing better. I mean, it really feels like I'm on a little island here. I look forward to it every summer. Being so engrossed and so enthralled with the people and the experiences here, while still being able to drive 20 minutes and be in the middle of nowhere. Like, that experience is so amazing to me. Hi, my name is Haven. I am a senior here at the University of Maine. Wow, I can't believe it's been 4 years. This campus still makes me feel like I'm a freshman. I'm from Orrington, which is about 30 minutes from here. I decided to kind of come to UMaine because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I initially started out as a computer engineer, and I'm currently a business major here at the UMaine Business School. You know, switching to business, I thought was just going to be, you know, a gateway to getting a job later on. I had no idea the sense of community that I was able to develop there. One of my professors I talked to, and I ended up connecting with her, name is Buffy Quinn, and she inspired me to reach out, to work harder, to, you know, get a sense of what I could be doing, what I could do more. And I ended up getting really involved in the business school as a Bridge Week representative and orientation leader. I'm currently a peer leader. It's such a safe place to truly explore. I feel more confident than ever that I could go on and take on the world. As a kid, I never really went away. I wasn't a summer camp kid. I didn't really go and stay at friends' houses very often. But came along freshman year and moved into the dorm. I lived in Somerset 420 all the way up on the 4th floor. My mother swore up and down that I would absolutely hate the experience, but it was definitely one of the best things I think I've ever done. It was such a unique thing to just have a friend across the hall, walking over there, knocking on the door and say, hey, you want to go to Pat's? Such an amazing experience, and I think if I could go back to one time in my life, it would be my freshman year. I went on to live 2 more years here as a RA. I tell all of the incoming students, please be open and get involved, because you really don't know what is going to happen. You really don't.
Probably my sophomore summer, I
went and started doing things with my friends, just hitting the ball back and forth. Bought myself a $11 Martin's racket, but then I started getting a little bit more into it, and it ended up being such an amazing, positive experience. Community, the people, it's definitely one of my favorite things I do during the week. Days like this, where it's sunny and the leaves are falling, they allow you to reminisce at a certain level in which I haven't really experienced otherwise.
It's crazy to me that it's over. I think I'm feeling a level of shock and awe that I've completed 4 years and that's it, I'm done. It makes me appreciate the times I've had here, and I think I will in the future not so easily forget all the little moments because it goes by so fast.
Growing up in Maine, I have always just felt a really strong connection with the land, and I think that UMaine is just a really great place to study. It just feels like home. It's small enough that it has the tight-knit feel, but also large enough that I feel like really anyone can find their place here.
My name is Jamie Fogg. I'm from Dedham, Maine, and I'm a marine science major.
In high school, I got involved in marine science through a program that allowed me to go out to Mount Desert Rock Island, which is a tiny barren rock, basically 20 nautical miles off the coast of Maine. And I did seal wound research out there, and I really just fell in love with marine mammals and studying them. Then after I did that research, I had the opportunity to present that to the Maine State Science Fair,
which kind of led me to UMaine, really. And my teacher actually told me about this professor, Dr. Christina Kamen, who is doing health and genetics work on seals and marine mammals. And I was like, wait, I really want to work with her. She's really cool, and I could see myself doing this in the future. And I started working in her lab, I think, the second month of my freshman year.
So a week before college started, I spent a week out on Hurricane Island with a group of, I think, 10 other undergraduate students. My sophomore year, I did a project on environmental DNA of gray seals, but specifically looking at how environmental DNA acts in a coastal environment.
Recently this summer, I had the opportunity to go out again to Mount Desert Rock and spend almost a month out there, which is just really fantastic. And then this year I'm working with Dr. Paul Rawson, looking at polychaetes in oysters, which is definitely a switch up because I'm typically working with marine mammals, so it's really fun to do something different. I think a lot of my time definitely goes to studying. I'm kind of a bookworm.
My favorite place to study in the library is definitely the third floor because my friends like to talk to me and I like to lock in.
No talking on the third floor.
There's no talking on the third floor.
I think happy and down to earth.
Yeah.
Met a more humble group of people in my life.
I think UMaine's really special for that. I think that there's such a wide variety of people here too, which is really nice. We've all met hiking through backcountry squatters, and Madeline is actually the backcountry squatters president. So I think we all found our community kind of through clubs on campus. And yeah, we all really enjoy being outdoors, which has definitely brought us together. My favorite thing about the trail system is just how accessible they are. They're right off of campus, and there's so many beautiful trees out here, as you can see.
When you first get to UMaine in August, it's still very summery, which we can utilize the river a lot. Also, Acadia is so close, so we hike a lot. And then as it gears towards September, the leaves start to change and it gets a little bit chillier, and it's just kind of okay, we're ready to start locking in and doing school, which is nice. You get to experience the really cold winter, which is always fun to be bundled up and go play out in the snow with your friends like a child. It's always just sweet because I feel like we come together during the winter.
UMaine is such a great place. You'll meet so many amazing people just like I did. We hope to see you around.
I'd looked into schools that had dance teams. It wasn't like a huge thing I was looking for, but I knew that UMaine had one and just fell in love with it from day one. Like, feels like I'm like in a movie every time I dance out here. It feels like very big and important and special because we have a marching band.
My name is Casey Maddock. I'm a secondary education major with a concentration in math and a minor in French as well. I think being a kid from Maine, it's like, duh, I'm gonna apply to the University of Maine. I think it's everyone's like go-to, the first place they submit an application. When I came here, I was like delightfully surprised. It's like a pine tree. Like, it's very big, it's very strong, it's very sturdy, and it, like, the experiences that you have here are gonna last through all the seasons of your life. I have known that I wanted to be a teacher since I was probably in second grade. So I knew when I applied to college that I was looking for somewhere where education was important and valued and they had a good education program. So that was a big part of why I chose Maine. And now that I'm student teaching, it's like the most fun that I've ever had. I was really worried that I was gonna miss being on campus and being around my friends, but if anything, this experience has just reaffirmed for me that I was made to be a teacher, I was made to do this. And so my very first year, I was in a school observing. I was able to volunteer in a school. I did a placement last year. The benefit of coming to UMaine and staying in state for me was that I know when I graduate, I'm gonna be certified here. So there's no extra legwork for me. There's no extra hoops to jump through. Like, I know when I'm done with this program that I'm gonna have everything I need to get that certificate and teach here and give back to the state that I love. I mean, we go into teaching because we wanna work with kids, because we wanna better our communities. And so it's really awesome that you get to do that while you're getting your degree. Whoop, there's my bell, I gotta go. I always say that UMaine makes me feel like a little kid again in the best way, just like the sheer joy that I feel for dancing and like coming to school and learning new things. I feel inspired, and I think it'll still make me feel inspired 50 years from now. So I initially came here because financially it made sense. And I honestly thought that after 2 years I was gonna transfer elsewhere, just like save for 2 years and then maybe go to a different school. But I ended up sticking around for that community. My roommate, we are both from Maine, but like we obviously did not know each other before we came here. So she reached out to me because I left my Snapchat, so she like Snapchatted me, and then we actually ended up committing on the same day, like without planning it. And she reached out to me and was like, do you want to live together? And she really is like the best thing that's happened to me. She's my best friend, she's gonna be in my wedding. Like, it really was the perfect roommate story.
My previous bike was broken, so I got this bike, and I got it from my professor. And I traded 2 chocolate bars on this bike, and it's been very nice. It works, and I think it's very worth it for its price. Merhaba, selam. Mijn naam is Kaidar Donenbayev. Mijn naam is mijn Kazakh. And I study Earth and Climate Sciences at the University of Maine, with minors as mathematics. When I first came here, I think it was definitely one of the hardest experiences in my life, I would say. In general, it's not just hard to adapt to culture, it's also the language. It was very hard for me to understand people, it was hard for them to understand me. And I think it's normal. It's a normal process when you're moving to a different country. Like, honestly, I think everyone should go through this. I just tried to go to some events and tried to make friends. International Student Association helped me a lot, and they were very friendly, very helpful in the beginning. And because of that, I decided to become a president of the International Student Association to help other people, since I also feel how they're feeling, and I understand that. Yeah, for other activities, I play soccer in intramurals. When I started playing soccer here, I was very surprised that people actually care this much about soccer here. I thought that no one plays soccer, no one knows about anything about soccer, but there's a lot of people that play soccer, and they're very good at it. It's very interesting for me to play in a team for the first time, in an actual team, not just with some random kids outside. So I decided to come to Maine. I looked at some maybe photos and descriptions of the state. I kind of liked it, my family liked it. Earth and Climate Science program is very good here, honors college, and I had a relatively good scholarship. I do think that it was the right decision, since how much I like Maine, how much I like people here. My freshman year, my professor talked to me and reached out to me about research opportunity. And even though it was very scary, I decided to try it, and I like it. We were modeling glaciers that used to be in Papua New Guinea 20,000 years ago, trying to understand how big they were and how cold it was at that time. When you're thinking about your research, almost every day, it helps you a lot, not just with your research, but to improve in general. I help with writing drafts for these publications, for these research projects, and it was also very helpful since I became co-author for both of these works. For me, it was probably one of the most valuable experiences at UMaine. I'm glad I did honors college because it made me improve so much in terms of my language skills. If you would tell me what I'm going to be doing here, like 2 years ago when I was still a high school student, I would be very surprised. In Kazakhstan, there are a lot of ecological problems. Hopefully in the future I can maybe do something to solve these problems in Kazakhstan. Thanks to UMaine, who gave me this research opportunity. It's my second home.
This is a place completely steeped in nature and the wonders of the world just completely around you. It's very peaceful here, and there's still a lot of people from different walks of life that you're going to meet, and it's a place that feels like home.
Hi, my name is Gabriella Shetreet. I am a fourth year here at UMaine. I'm from York, Maine, so southern Maine, and I am a dual major in English and art history. I also have an interest in film and Spanish, so hoping to do a double minor. Well, I don't know, we'll see.
I am a resident assistant in Penobscot Hall for the Honors Complex. I'm the vice president of Hillel. I am an intern at the Lord Hall Gallery and also an intern at the Writing Center. I'm a volunteer at the Child Development Center on campus. Oh, I'm part of the Honors College.
So I had a bit of an unconventional college start, we should say.
I left after the first year, which I was very sad about. I actually cried for a while. And I tried going to another school. I ended up going abroad and traveling on my own, and then I came back here with full support of every department I'm a part of.
And coming back to UMaine with fresh eyes after a year was probably the best decision of my life yet. It's been so amazing. I just really was able to take charge of my experience here.
So, you know, with honors, this whole opportunity to go abroad to Bulgaria was presented to me right when I came back. And I was kind of like, wow, all right, I'll be here for a semester and then go across the pond again. And that was incredible. Publication opportunities opened up for me. I just kind of got that confidence to submit my writing, and funnily enough, soon enough I was published.
When I left UMaine, I went to school in a city, and there wasn't much nature around. And if there was, it felt like I was in a little dog park. UMaine's campus is something really special. It's easy to take things for granted. And you know, walking through campus, it's not only a beautiful view, but reminds me of all the good times I've had here. I can walk past every building and have a good memory associated with it.
I think absolutely UMaine has given me so many connections and pathways of different networks I can go down in terms of life after graduation. It's a place that feels like home. I always think about that sign when you drive in, welcome home, you know. It's somewhere you feel at peace.
If you ever see Lord of the Rings, it's basically, you're living in Middle-earth out here. It's like beautiful scenery, hills, trees. Like, you'd be walking through the woods and you just step right and overlook the ocean. So it's like the best scenery you see in movies, you're living in here in the trees.
I would say it is one of the most calming and least stressful places I've ever been. especially for something called a college campus.
What I enjoy most about Machias, the area, the campus, and just around town, is how soothing and like nice it is to be here. It's just kind of like very easygoing. If you want people to actually know who you are and understand who you are, this is the place to come.
My name is Patrick Bilodeau. I am a junior at the University of Maine at Machias. I'm an outdoor rec major and I graduate in May of 2026.
I'm from Vermont, so I came from a place kind of like Maine. I wanted to go to a place that was far enough away from home, but also close enough to people where it's like you have something there. And the price is very reasonable, so it was a nice choice. I study outdoor recreation. You get to do everything basically marine bio does without the science. So that is nice for me because I was originally marine bio and I was like, I only want to do the lab part, but I don't want to do the science, and that was rec. So now I do rec. I am a lifeguard at this pool. You get hired for work study, and once you've worked through work study, you can actually get hired again as like a normal employee. So it's kind of, you never run out of a job.
What I like about the woods is no one comes out here, so there's always a spot to be alone.
Going to the ocean, if it's very calming, very soothing, it's just right in our backyard, so it's just... You see that seal? Oh, I think I went away.
It's your own small community. It's not like, oh, I've never seen this person before. Like on big campuses, professors know you, actually know you. They don't just know you as a number. With the academics, you can learn a lot of different things. I taught Maine College at kindergartners. That was a class. You learn what it is to be a leader in any type of setting. In a classroom with 15 people, if you think she's a great professor, like triple it. Great professor. How every moment on campus is when you want to hang out with someone. Like, hey, what are you doing? And you go, not much. And it's like, oh, you're gonna be with me for the next 3 hours. So in the woods. In the woods. I feel like the community at Machias is very accepting. I feel like upperclassmen do their job and help freshmen transition. That is a big part of this campus, is the people that you meet. Your classrooms are only 10 people, so like you go on camping trips with these people, so you really get to know who these people are. I think I'll be friends with these people at Machias for the rest of my life, and I'll probably go camping with them in 50 years.
So I got to spend a lot of time on campus at the University of Maine as a child because my dad was an English professor. For my whole life he was a professor up there, and he retired about 10 years ago. This is actually a picture of him. So we spent a lot of time there growing up, running around his office and the English department and poking around classrooms and the library, and just really all over campus actually. Kind of a great place to grow up. Hi, my name's Nina Hollon, and I'm in the University Studies program, and I'm from Orono, Maine. So I grew up in Maine, but I went to California for college, and after staying there for a while, working in New York and living in New York, I got the chance to move back here about 10 years ago, and I've been here ever since. So I did start college when I was 19, and I was sort of a traditional student at that point, and took regular classes full-time, and then I had to start working. Once I started working, I shifted over to evening classes, and then I was more part-time, so that the college experience kind of spread out after my first year, and I kept working, and then my job kept getting more demanding, and so I just got to a point where I couldn't take classes anymore. And when you move internally at a company from job to job, they don't ask you for a resume, they don't ask you what degree you have. You're known by your reputation. I was coming up on 30 years at a job that I had been at. I left that company, I started researching running a consulting business, which is what I'm doing now. And while I had that sort of downtime, it occurred to me that this was the perfect opportunity to go back and finish school. And that was something that really nobody knew. Nobody really knew that I hadn't finished college. And I was embarrassed about it. I reached out to the University of Maine, and I found the University Studies program, and the people were fantastic, and they helped me understand how I could really pretty easily become part of UMaine, become part of that program, and showed me that within about 2 years, I could have my degree. And so that's what I'm doing now.
What I like about being able to study anywhere is probably this. I can literally be outside on the deck. I can be in my house. I can be in another country doing my schoolwork, and it just works really well for my for the life that I have.